lying on your backs. And I'm sorry, there's now going to be some traffic in the background, so hopefully you can hear me. All right, so you're going to come and lie on your backs and just let your knees open out to the side in a butterfly position. And give yourself any support that you need underneath your legs. Take your hands underneath your head, lift your head, give yourself a stretch and let your head relax down. And then take your hands and place them one hand on each side of your rib cage. Let your arms and your shoulders completely relax, and then allow your eyes to close or just to soften. And you can breathe in and out through the nose, or you can breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. You can choose. But just allow your breath to slow down for a moment. And just really feel the movement of your ribs underneath your hands. Start to notice those points of your body that are in contact with the ground. And with each breath, just allow your body weight to sink a little bit deeper. Allow your belly to soften, and just allow your abdominals to soften and release with each inhale. So you might feel a little bit of an expansion into the belly without forcing it. Take a moment to scan your body and notice any areas of tension. And with each exhale, just allow yourself to consciously soften and release through the neck and shoulders, the lower back. Soften the areas around your forehead, your eyes, your lips, your jaw, and your tongue. Just take a moment to notice your energy, notice how you're feeling this morning. And we're going to take just one more deep breath in. Open your mouth and sigh. And then blink your eyes open. Take your hands, placing them just underneath your legs, and then help yourself as you bring your legs all the way up, keeping your feet and your knees together. Hands come onto your lower belly, and just start to tilt your hips forwards and backwards. It's a little bit of a rocking action, just to bring a little bit of movement and energy back into your base, and allow that energy to travel up your spine like a wave. Feeling that wonderful release along the lower back, just where your kidneys are. Feeling that little release along the back of your lungs and the back of your heart. And then maybe even noticing if your head starts to tilt a little bit with the movement as well. Just let your head move gently. And then come back to the center, bring both your hands, reach them straight up, and let's do a few arm scissors. So you start to reach one arm forward, one arm backwards. And just finding that gentle relief to the shoulders, the scapula. Keep your neck nice and easy. And now we're going to take just one more. Reach your right arm all the way back, and then just roll yourself onto your right side and cradle your neck and your head with your right hand. Keep your knees bent. Left arm comes forward, and we're going to go into our first twist. So lifting your arm up, looking up, and then just allow your arm to travel back. You don't have to go all the way, just until you feel a gentle stretch along the shoulder and your chest. And then bring your arm all the way back up and to the front. So this is actually doing a little bit of a twist around the upper body. So this is now working on the lungs, the diaphragm, and your heart. So connect your movement into your breath, and we're going to do 3 more here. So notice every single time that you might be able to soften and release just a little bit more. And play with your breath. What happens, how does it feel if you change your breathing pattern? And guys, remember at any point, if your lower back doesn't like this, you make it smaller. Or perhaps you need to bring your knees up a little higher. And release. And now, bringing your left arm just up, taking your left hand into your lower back, and see if you can just walk your hand up a little bit. It doesn't have to be very high. Step your left foot back onto the mat, and then take your time as you roll onto your back. So your left hand is pinned underneath you. And now place your right hand to your belly. And we're going to just settle here for 5 breaths in and out. And you might notice quite a strong stretch around the left shoulder because it's an internal rotation. You might notice that there's a compression onto your left wrist around the carpal tunnel. And you might notice that there's a little bit of a lift in the chest, an extension of the spine with your hand pressing up. So just breathe into it and let yourself soften and release as much as possible. Make any adjustments if it doesn't feel good, by the way. And we're going to take one more deep breath in and out. And once again, placing your right hand behind your head, rolling onto your right side so you release the pressure of that hand. Reach your left hand up, roll onto your back, and then just pause here, both hands reaching up again, and once again, scissor. Notice how the left side of your body feels after that release work. Take your left hand overhead. Now I'm going to be rolling away from you, so you can watch me if you need to. You're going to take your right hand over, roll onto your left side, and cradle the back. And now your right hand lifts up, and then start going into that gentle thoracic rotation. Start small because we will be doing 5 of them. So you don't have to go too far on this first one. And again, bringing your arm up. And just connecting into that breath. Taking 2 more. And you will be feeling a stretch probably on the chest and the front of the arm. But start to bring your awareness to your lungs your heart, and your diaphragm. Keep breathing. We're going to take one more time. And now stay here. Bring your right hand up, placing your hand into your lower back. And you can leave it there if your shoulder is tight, or you can walk your hand up a little bit higher. And then step back, rolling onto your back slowly, and then placing your hand onto your lower belly. Just settle here into that stretch of the shoulder. And this is one of the rotator cuff muscles, by the way. So you're going to get quite a strong stretch around the rotator cuff. Keep breathing. Notice how it feels on this side. Full deep breath in and out. Keep breathing. I'm taking one more inhale and exhale. Take your left hand, place it behind your head, roll slowly onto your left side, bringing your arm up, and then once again, roll onto your back, bringing both hands all the way up. And this time we're going to open and close the arms. Breathe in to expand wide. Don't take your arms rest though. And exhale, lifting up. And again, inhale, open wide. And exhale, arms come up. Just bringing your hands shoulder distance apart. Taking two more. And one more time. Bring your arms open, and this time stay there and press your hands down to the ground. Now you're going to walk your feet nice and wide to the width of your mat and start to roll the knees from side to side. Start small. Just notice if there's a particular point where your body doesn't want to go any further. Notice if there's any pain or strain, and don't force yourself into a rotation. So now we're coming into a little bit of a twist around the pelvis, the hips, and around the belly. So we're going to take just two more. Keep your chest nice and open. Bring your knees over to the right, and then stay there for a moment. Let your head relax, let your shoulders and arms expand wide. And now I want you to squeeze your left bum cheek. And as you squeeze the left bum cheek, you should feel that the front of the hip presses open just a little bit more. And then release and relax. Just notice if things have shifted a little bit. Let's do that again. Squeeze your left bum cheek. Open up that hip flexor. That's a very specific muscle called the iliopsoas. And release. One more time. Squeeze your left hip. And then exhale and release. Stay here for a moment. And then take your time as you roll your legs up through the center. And now take your legs over to the left. Let yourself settle there for a moment. Relax your neck, your shoulders, expand wide across your chest. And now you're going to squeeze the right bum cheek. So squeeze your right gluteal, feel that opening along that hip. And releasing it down. And again, a little bit of a squeeze. Open up through the hip flexor, maybe down the front of the quadricep if you're tight there. And exhale, release. And just one more time, a little bit of a squeeze with your bum. And don't forget that these hip flexor muscles attach into the lower back. So this is a wonderful way to also release the lower back. And relax. Stay here for a moment. And then bringing both legs up towards the center. And we're going to stay here with the arms open and the feet nice and wide to go into a pelvic breath. It's a little tilt with your hips. And then as your bridge position, I want you to just pause here for a moment. And as much as soften into the back of the neck, feeling the connection into the gluteals and into the back of the leg. And there should be no strain or pain in the lower back. And then take your time as you roll down. So it's a conscious, deliberate placement of your spine. And then just allow your pelvis to settle at the end. That again, a little bit of a tilt of the hips, rolling up. Pause here just for a moment. Take another breath in. And exhale to ripple down. Just one more. Little bit of a tilt of the hips. Squeeze up. Stay here just for a moment. And then work your way down through your spine. And hold it. Hands all the way, connecting into the tips of the fingers. And then walk your feet together. Walk your knees together. So now your legs are squeezed nice and interlock your fingers. Hands go underneath your head for support. And then just pause there for a moment. Just give a little feel of your ribs, lengthening your spine. And then your elbows are hovering, not your chin. And on your breath, slide your ribs. Pause here, take a little breath in, and then release your ribs down slowly. And again, nod your chin, use your breath. Stay here just for a moment, and releasing down. Taking two more. And release. One more time, just giving ourselves an opportunity to find the connection to our center. Take a little breath in and exhale, releasing down. Stay here for a moment. Let your elbows press wide. Pick up your right thigh and cross it over the left thigh. Stay there. Bring your elbows up. And on your breath, come up into a chest lift and just stay here for a moment. Now roll your knees over towards the right without letting your chest move. And then come back to the center. And again, roll your knees over towards the left. Keep your chest nice and stable. And come back to the center. So you should be feeling quite a strong connection into the obliques muscles, but because we're doing that twisting action, it's that compression of those internal organs again. One more time. Come back to the center, don't move, and then lower your head and shoulders all the way down. Bring both knees up into your chest. You still have your left leg on, or right leg on top. And then just slide your hands down towards your ankles as much as you can. So you're getting into that performer stretch on the right hip. And again, as soon as you bring your legs up, you might feel that there's almost a little bit of a compression at the front of the hip joint. So again, anytime we do a compression pose or a compression movement, It's a fantastic way to start to bring blood flow into that area, to start moving that energy in that area. Stay here for just a few more moments, and remember, you're trying to keep your head and shoulders as relaxed as possible. And then on your next breath, release, hug both knees in towards your chest, tuck your chin in and bring yourself into a tight little ball shape. And then releasing yourself all the way down, head down, feet down, bringing your hands up, connecting the tips of your fingers. Pick up your left leg this time and cross the thigh over. Interlock hands behind head. And on your next breath, come up into a chest lift. Stay here. You're going to try and keep the height of your body. Now let your knees go over towards the right. And then on your exhale, come back to the center. Keep your head and shoulders stable. As you let your legs go over, you're getting a rotation through the lumbar spine. And then exhale, come back to the center. Take 2 more. Rolling towards the side. Getting that lovely rotation and compression through the internal organs. Stay for a moment and lower head and shoulders all the way down. Bring your knees up into your chest. Hands come down onto the shins or your ankle. And then again, just settle into the stretch so you can start to release into the gluteal muscles and maybe find a little bit of compression into the front of the hip as well. Staying here for just a few more moments. And then on your next breath, release. Hug both knees in towards your chest. Tuck yourself into a tight little ball shape. And then releasing yourself all the way down. So hook your hands behind your thighs, flex your ankles, and on your breath, extend your legs long. Let's just start to release the back of the legs a little bit. And bend. Exhale. Energy up through the heels of your feet. And release. Just one more time. Using your breath. And release. Just give your legs and your ankles a little bit of a shake. And we're going to do one of those slow roll-ups into a sitting position. So start to move your legs away from you until your elbows are straight. Curl your spine forward and start to pour your body weight in towards your feet. Bringing yourself all the way down. And then your forehead rests to your knee. And then unravel your spine and lift it nice and tall. So I'm going to turn to face you. You're going to have your right leg in front and your left leg to the side. And then just slide your hands from your knees all the way up towards the top of the hip. And start to roll one hip in and one hip out. And then roll yourself back again. And just let your legs, your knees move with you. And let your pelvis and your spine follow the movement as well. So you're not forcing yourself into any position that your body isn't ready for yet. And then settle yourself as level as possible, taking your right hand to the ground, left arm comes up and over, and then release, come all the way over to the other side, up and over. And we're just going to take 3 more. Over to the side, getting that opening along the side of the ribs. And last one, bring yourself over so you're reaching over towards the right this time, and then come into your twist. So placing your hands to the ground, square your shoulders, and then we did this one yesterday, where you start to arch and then curl the spine. So this is called the mermaid, and it's an exercise from the Pilates reformer equipment, but we've adapted it to the mat. And it's a wonderful way to get rotation of the spine, but then we're adding flexion and extension. So it feels good. It gives us a lot of information about where those tight areas are. And this is where we can really use our breath to help us move a little bit deeper into those spaces. One more time. And then set yourself in the center. Move your right hand, pick up your hand, look under, and then coming all the way up. Switch your legs around to the other side. So having your left leg in front, take your hands from your knees, slide them up towards the top of your thigh bone, the femur, and then start guiding yourself into that little rotation at the hip socket itself. And just let your body respond. So we're not forcing anything. We're just helping to find a little bit of mobility around the socket. And then bring yourself back to the center, placing left hand to the floor. Big stretch up and over. And let's go gently from side to side with our seaweed movement. 3 more. Keep moving with your breath. And then reach over to the left. Stay here and let's add that little twist spine. So you place your hands down, square your shoulders, and then start moving into that little bit of an arch of the spine, and then curling back. And again, a little bit of an arch, and curl. And just noticing how it feels on this side. Where are the areas that are easy for you to move? And where are the areas that you maybe get a little bit stuck? And can you use your breath to help you move a little bit deeper? And let's just take one more. Come to the center, moving your left hand, picking up the right hand, beautiful long stretch, and then coming all the way up. Take your time as you transition onto all fours. And take a moment to center yourself where your wrists feel good. And we're going to start off with wagging our tails from side to side. So as you move your pelvis from side to side, you might feel that there's a little bit of a shortening along the side of the waist. And is it easier for you to wag your tail to one side than the other? And then start to look over your shoulder and look for your own tail. So adding that little movement of the ribs now from side to side. And we're going to take just one more time. Come back to the center and hold. Let's go into a rounded spine cat stretch. Stay here just for a moment. Move your hips back, but don't move your hands. Just press back until it feels like a lovely stretch across the lower back for you. And then come forward again until your shoulders are above your wrist. And then lengthen your spine, lifting your tail, lifting your heart, and lifting your gaze. And again, rounding your spine, sitting back, getting that opening across the sacrum and the lower back. Come forward, and then lengthen the spine, coming into that arch of the spine, and taking 2 more rounds, moving back, and maybe you're going to feel a little bit of a stretch along the side body as well. Come forward, and lengthen, lifting tail, lifting through the heart. Last one. Sitting back, coming all the way forward, and this time just come to a lengthened spine. Reach your right arm out to the side, coming into a thread the needle. So you're going to rest your head, rest your shoulder, find the place that feels good for you, and then if you would like to reach the left arm overhead, you might find that it intensifies it for you slightly, and we're going to stay here for 5 breaths in and out. So again, we're coming into a rotation of the thoracic spine. So there's almost a little bit of a squeeze around the one lung, an opening along the other lung, almost giving your heart a little bit of a hug. Taking 1 more breath in and out. Slide your left hand in, and then press up and reaching that right arm out towards the side. Now turn your head and look at your right thumb. And then as you start lifting, start opening up across the heart. And can you find the connection between the left and the right hand? Come all the way back to the center. Reaching the left arm out. Coming into a thread the needle. Just settle yourself there. And then you have a choice to slide the right arm out. 5 breaths. Feeling the gentle squeeze of the left lung, the opening of the right lung, and the hug of your heart. One more breath in and out. And now bring the right hand back in. Press up, reaching the left arm out. Look at your left thumb. And then start opening up across the heart space. Find the connections between your right and your left hands. And then releasing all the way back down. Tuck your toes under, hovering your knees just up off the ground. Start to shift your body weight forwards and backwards, but you're actually staying quite low to the ground. Keep gently moving forwards and back. And taking 2 more. 1 more. Send your hips up and back. And then let's just pedal the heels down one at a time, getting that release all the way along the back of the leg. Pushing both heels down towards the ground. Staying here just for a moment, take a breath in. And then exhale, lower the knees all the way down, releasing your feet back. Start to walk your hands forward so they're quite far in front of your shoulders. Now keeping that lengthened spine, do that same shifting of body weight forwards and backwards. So you start to bring your hips back past your knees, and then you start to bring your shoulders forward in line with your wrists. Keep the connection to your center. Taking 2 more. And now on this next one, bringing yourself just in line with your wrists, and then you're going to bend the elbows. We've got 5 counts to bring ourselves all the way down to the ground. So you're not allowed to drop. You've got to keep the abdominals tight. You've got to use your upper body strength and releasing all the way down. Stay exactly as you are. So just engage your bum cheeks. Roll your shoulders back and just come up into a little baby cobra. Stay for a moment. Hover your hands off the ground. Get that little squeeze between the shoulder blades. Put your hands down and then releasing head and shoulders down. We're going to do that one more time. Roll your shoulders back. Coming up into a baby cobra. So that basically means that you don't lift the bottom ribs. Hover your hands. Release your hands down. And then lower the head and shoulders down. Now, taking your right arm and reach it out to the side like a Boeing 747 and look to the left. Bend your left knee, push with your hand and roll yourself up and back. And see if you can place your foot to the ground behind you. So what I absolutely love about this shoulder stretch, this is called open wing, by the way. What's wonderful about this is that you're going to get that release all the way along the right arm and into the neck. You're going to get a twist through the entire spine and you get this amazing opening into the front of the left hip. But it's all very supported and it gives us an opportunity to breathe into this twist. Take a little breath in and then release. Take your time as you come all the way back and then stretch that leg out. Switch arms, look the other way. Bend the right knee and rolling all the way back. And then pick up. Final breath. And taking one more deep breath. And then exhale. And coming all the way back. Placing your hands under your shoulders, we're going to repeat our cobra. Inhale, roll the shoulders back. And lifting up into baby cobra. Hover your arms and just notice if it feels any different after that release and twist. Releasing everything down. One more time. Rolling shoulders back. Pause for a moment. Hovering your hands. And then release, lower the chest. And you're going to push up onto all fours. Tuck your toes. Pressing your hips all the way up. And then I want you to walk your feet forward and come down into a little crouch. Now you can either just walk your feet out or you can challenge yourself by placing your hands just beside you, walk your feet out, and then see if you can lift your feet up and release. So it's a little bit of a challenge there. So knees bent, you can either have your fingers pointing in or fingers pointing to the side. And we're just going to do a tabletop here, reverse tabletop. Open up through the chest and shoulders. And then releasing all the way down. Good. Stretch your legs out long, guys. We're coming into our final twist. Pick up your right foot, step it over, right hand behind your back, reach up, and then start with a little bit of a twist through the lower belly. Bend the rib cage so you can hook your elbow, and then looking over that right shoulder. breaths in and out. So you're not forcing it, you're allowing your breath to guide you deeper. On your next breath, release, coming all the way back. Keep your legs as they are. Just move your hands over to the side and just do a little bit of a rocking. And then we're going to try baby grasshopper. So you're going to line up your left hand. Now, grab onto your baby toe. If you can't hold your baby toe, then you can just practice having your hand on the floor on your ankle or loop something around your foot. Do that same little rocking action to the side and then see if you can press up. So you're going to stand on your right foot, stand on your left hand, and then use your abdominals to come up. And then on your next breath, release, coming all the way back, and then stretch your legs out. So I'm going to turn so that I'm not going to have my back to you for the second set. Pick up your left foot, cross it over. Left hand goes behind your back. Reach up, create space. And then we start twisting belly, ribs, hook the elbow, and moving towards the foot. Staying here for 2 more breaths. And then slowly release, bringing your hands over towards the right and just going into a little bit of a release. So it's just a soft rocking action, just a little bit of a counter twist. And then placing your right hand in line with your hip, taking your hand around your baby toe as best you can, rolling over onto that side, and then pressing onto your foot and your hand to come up. Using abdominals. Keep breathing. And then releasing down and releasing out, stretching your legs, shaking your knees to give yourself a little bit of circulation. And then stay in a seated position, cross-legged, however feels best for you. Pull the flesh of your bum out the side. And we're just going to finish with a few minutes of conscious breathing. So palms of your hands resting down or onto your ankles. Finding a little bit of length through your spine, and then just allow your eyes to soften or to close. Keeping your lips gently sealed as we breathe in and out through the nose. And bringing your awareness to each exhale and allowing it to lengthen and extend just a little bit longer than your inhale. Staying present and focused with each breath as it moves through your body. And if you notice that your thoughts have drifted or your mind has wandered, just notice, pull yourself back and return to your breath. allowing softness to move through your body. Releasing any unnecessary tension. Staying here for just a few more moments. Staying connected to your breath and starting to notice any sounds around you. And allowing those sounds to become part of your experience without moving you away from your connection to your breath. Becoming aware of your physical body, your skin, your hair, all those points of contact of your body to the ground. Taking a moment to pause and notice your energy. Observe any shift that has taken place during this class. And taking just one more deep breath in through your nose. Open your mouth and sigh. Blinking your eyes open. And then just bringing your hands beside you, finishing with one inhale as we reach up. One exhale as we open the arms. Roll your shoulders back and around. Fantastic, guys. Let me grab the phone. See if we've got any feedback. All right. Guys, thank you very much for being so patient with me sorting out the internet connection. Let me see if you're still, we're the participants.
It looked beautiful out on the lawn there.
Yeah.
And
it worked perfectly.
Yeah, all
Yeah.
the birds. We could
Fantastic.
hear all the birds. It was gorgeous.
Oh, I know. And I tell you what, did you guys see our little bunnies? One was sitting next to me and one was behind me.
Yeah, I saw the bunnies.
Nice. I
How's
just saw birds.
there?
Cute.
Isn't he gorgeous?
Yeah.
And then that's
Cute.
Archie sitting. Yeah, that's Butterbean, and that's Archie.
Sweet. Oh, is that? I thought that was a spaceship